Hello, class. I'd just like to extend a round of thanks to everyone who has been working on their own speech, but also taking some time to look at some of maybe this one or some of the others. And I've really appreciated debating with my opponent, Alexander. But to really start off this debate today, I would like to say that my opponent brought up that this idea of anonymity in dating apps, which I brought up as a problem, is present even in real life. And he also brought up that for his first argument, that people online can choose how much information they would like to disclose, which definitely sidesteps the argument, because we're really not trying to get at what information can be disclosed, but when information is disclosed to in a false way, so as to lie about your appearance or lie about any other aspect of yourself. And that's what the true issue here is. And I would just like to say that my argument still stands, because traditional in-person dating may hide thoughts that will be revealed over time as conversation goes on, but it's not as bad as the point where online dating, you can hide behind a screen, and the screen acts as a shield or barrier where you can hide your looks or your facial identity. And I guess um, catfish people, which is the premise of which many shows have sometimes made their have benefited from, because of this idea that people catfish people, and then it becomes a whole another problem with online dating. And my opponent's second argument to counter my idea, which was that online dating apps harm or decrease our sense of self-worth, was that people are actually using dating apps for validity and their self-development. And he starts off his argument by saying that women in general actually tend to receive less of this idea of rejection, and they actually use more of this dating app just for small casual relationships that really validate their sense of self-worth. But he forgets to mention the male side of that, which has statistics showing that it is actually quite negative on mental health. And he also admits that this idea of finding validity in online relationships is not fully healthy, which definitely hurts his argument. And he also continues by saying that this idea of rejection builds self-development. And while that fact is indeed true, you need to it's life experience. Rejection happens, and sometimes it's just something you got to deal with. But online dating creates an environment where rejection is normal, and it creates this idea of prolonged a prolonged low in self-worth. And he never really addressed this idea that we live in a society filled with human disposability, especially on online dating apps, where people can be, I guess, traded in for new ones with just the swipe of your thumb. You can find more people, and if you're not liking this person, you just keep on swiping, and it becomes this endless cycle of not being able to find someone and then just swiping to find someone new. And this idea of constant rejection in relationships really is not, it's harming relationships, as the argument originally stated. And essentially what this argument comes down to is whether relationships are harmful or not, or whether online dating relationships are harmful or not. And I'd say, with the evidence I've presented, you should vote for me, because my opponent clearly understands that relationships can be based on validity, which is not something that is generally healthy for someone to base their relationship on. And he also admits that rejection is a part of this dating app, and fails to notice that repeated rejection ends up in a system with less self-worth, and it also contributes to the idea of human disposability, where people can be traded in when relationships don't work out, when in-person dating is actually better for people, and as for the many reasons I've listed, that is why you should vote for me on this side of the argument, because of the flaws my opponent has failed to outline within in-person dating. Thank you very much.